What's going on, you guys? It's Cody Steck. Welcome back to the channel. This video here specifically is going to be geared towards real estate investors here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Now, I know most of the people watching my channel are relocating from out of state, and so if that's you, you probably don't need to watch this video. There's still going to be some good information about the market if that's what you're curious about, but this is specifically going to be for Utah real estate investors, or if you're interested in investing in real estate, then this could be some good information for you as well. So this video is going to be sponsored by yours truly. If you're looking at buying or selling property here in Utah, I would love to help you out with that. I've helped a ton of people relocate here into the state, and if you're a real estate investor here, I'd love to sell your property, maybe even buy your property, or help you purchase another investment property if that's what you're looking to do. I love talking investment real estate. That's actually probably my most favorite part of the entire business. I love relocation and I love investment, so that's what we're going to talk about here today. I should also mention that I am looking to partner with other investors in the real estate space. So if you're thinking about investing in real estate, but you want to potentially partner up with me, then reach out to me. My information will be here on the screen. Let's have a chat about the type of deal that you're looking for and see if there's a good opportunity for us to potentially be partners. All right, guys, let's get into the video. So I'm going to discuss a little bit about where I see the investment market going, what's happening right now, where I think it will be in the next 6 to 12 months when we look at prices and we look at rents. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to discuss what I'm doing in this market and what my plan is moving forward. So let's jump into things and let's talk about where prices have gone over the last couple of years. So talking about where prices have gone over the last little bit, I'm going to throw some information up here on the screen for you to take a look at. And you can see that the real estate prices here in northern Utah along the Wasatch Front have gone absolutely insane. From January of 2020 at a rough median sales price of $343,000 to now in December approaching $500,000 for the sales price. This is a 45% increase in just the last 2 years. So prices have jumped up drastically. We've seen just absolutely mind-blowing numbers when it comes to the sales numbers that we're seeing and how much people are offering to pay above the asking price for properties. I mean, it's just been insane. If you're keeping an eye on the market, you would be very well aware of that. Now, the thing that we have to talk about with prices is also rents, right? We're here to talk about investment real estate. And so generally you're looking what the price of the property is and then what that property is renting for. So I can tell you guys that in the rental market, we have not seen that same 45% increase in rents over the last 2 years. I'm still seeing a ton of properties pop up where they're experiencing, rents that are going up $25 a month or $50 a month. So going from $800 to $850 or $1,200 to $1,250, that is nowhere near a 45% increase in the rents that we're seeing here in the market. The point that I want to get at is that rents are going to have to go up at some point. Now, let's talk about why prices have remained low and what you need to know when it comes to that. So rates have been allowing a lot of buying power in this market. Because interest rates are low and they have been low for the last couple of years, this is giving people the ability to purchase more property for a lower price. This is pushing up prices on single family homes, but it's also allowing investors and even just retail buyers to purchase investment properties at a very low expense. The interest rate is low, so they're paying off a large portion of the principal each time they make a payment, and having a low interest rate also keeps their payment amount down. So this gives them a better ability to cash flow or at least break even each month when you look at the payment amount versus what the total rent is. When somebody goes in and purchases a property that has rents at a lower amount, but the rate is also low, this means that investors are generally taking a lower overall return. So if we look at a very high level point of view, you can see that from inflation and the pandemic and the demand that we've had here in Utah, along the Wasatch Front, and also low interest rates, this is the perfect storm to push prices up at a very quick rate. However, with rents, it's not quite the same thing. Rent rates have remained low just because a lot of investors don't believe in raising rents, or they say, hey, this tenant's been there forever. I'm not going to raise the rent on them because I don't want them to leave. I just, they take care of the property. I just want them to stay. That's a valid point, right? But for a new investor coming in to try and purchase that property, it doesn't make sense for them. They have to raise rents at some point. I think over the next 6, 12, 18, maybe even 24 months, we're going to see rents increase at a very rapid rate. Now, I'm not saying this is going to increase across the board because I do think there will be a lot of properties, that people already own where they're not raising the rents. But I do think that anytime a new property sells or a property has to be re-rented, right, because a tenant moves out, I do think we're going to see pretty large rent increases on those properties at that time. the rents are going to follow what's happened to prices, and I'm already starting to see this on my properties. I just purchased a duplex in West Valley City. Obviously, it's 2 units, so there's 2 tenants living there, and both of them are on housing authority vouchers. This basically means that they've got assistance from the government or from nonprofits to help pay their rent because they are unable to do so on their own. So these are the tenants that I inherited. I don't actually have any other properties that are that we allow the housing vouchers, but this is kind of getting me into that world, and it's giving me a different perspective on how all of this works. The thing that I was really surprised about is seeing the increase that they're going to give for rent in 2022. So right now it's at $1,650, but when this lease renews in 2022, they are going to increase that rental assistance that they give up to $1,843. So this is an 11.5% increase in rents in just 1 year. Now, I think the important thing to note here is that the rents are already pushing the market rent for this unit. So it's not like I'm way below market and I'm going up 12% or 11.5%. I'm already at the top of the market, but the housing authorities, based on their numbers that they get from the federal government, I believe, they're going to push up the rents an additional 11.5% for that property. Cash flows on properties have been really low over the last little bit, but I think there's a lot of units out there that are waiting to see increases in their rent. Now, I do think there's a lot of tenants who will stay put because they have low rent and they don't want to move and increase that because they know what's out there in the market. And so I think there's a lot of old-time investors who will just leave those rents where they're at. But as those units turn over, I think we're going to see a lot of rent increases in the coming years. Now, here's the thing that you have to keep in mind. When the rents finally go up, this is only going to push the prices of real estate properties even higher. Now, if you're not a real estate property owner already, then might be looking at the situation thinking, that's going to suck because now things are going to be more expensive. But if you do own real estate, this is going to be a really good thing for you, right? Over the long term, real estate is going to go up in price and you're going to see rent increases, which is going to increase your monthly cash flow. So this is a really important thing to remember. As your net income goes up, you are going to be able to demand a higher price for the property with keeping the same cap rate, right? If you've got a property that's at a 6% cap rate, but now you increase the rents on each unit by $150, your cap rate is now going to demand a much higher price. So I do think that as we see rents go up, we're going to see prices continue to jump up with that as well. The best way to show this to you is with an example. Let me jump into my computer here and show you what I mean. All right, so to best describe what the scenario looks like, I wanted to show you guys this chart here. So I've drawn prices. This is my awesome drawing here. I've drawn prices here in the orange line, and you can see that, if we just assume that prices are going up over time, they've gone on this steep incline right here, and I think they'll kind of level out a little bit as we go into future years, right? So this would be like 2022, 2023, and beyond. Anything beyond that is a little bit hard to say what's going to happen. But if we look at the prices doing this type of action, and then we look at the rents and what's happened with them, rents are typically lagging prices just a little bit. So I tried to draw this line a little bit shallower than what we've seen with the prices. Rents have not increased at the same level as the prices. So rents they're increasing slower than what we're seeing with prices. But I do think we're going to see this steep acceleration in the rents that are in our market, right? And I could even see the rents outpace the prices. I don't know. This could, kind of flatten out. This could go a little bit more stable. Let's see if we go back here to the blue. Let's say this could go like this way and get rid of that. We could see that where the rents actually kind of match what the prices are, at least on a relative basis. Of course, it's always going to vary just a little bit. But to be honest with you guys, I think we're probably somewhere like right here. I think that we've seen rents go up, but we've still seen prices increase at a much faster pace. But we are going to see rents increase here shortly. Prices have obviously gone up very significantly over the last couple of years, and rents have lagged behind. However, going into the next 12 to 24 months, I think we're going to see a big jump in rents, and that's then going to push prices up even further, and rents will continue to follow. So with that said, guys, I hope this makes sense for you, and I hope this gives you a little bit more context on what I'm expecting to see with the real estate market. Let's come back and watch this video in a year, year and a half, 2 years, and see what actually happened. I'd love to see how these numbers have changed and see if I'm, on the right path here or if something different happened. In the meantime, what I'm going to be doing with my own real estate properties, a lot of people have been asking, hey, is now the time to buy, now the time to sell? I'm personally trying to acquire as much property as possible. Just like on the little drawing that I just showed you, I think that we're still at a point where rents have not gone up significantly enough to push the prices even higher. So although there's a big gap there, I think that we're in a spot where I might be paying a little bit higher price than I want to. I think rents are going to jump up, and that's going to make what maybe is just an okay deal into a really good deal as we see those rents increase. So if there's anything out there that even looks like a deal, I'm trying to buy it and I'm trying to make sense of it. I want to own as much property as possible because I think that's going to be a major benefit to me over the next couple of years. Now, I plan to be a buyer of real estate for the rest of my life. I don't ever see that changing because I think the long-term benefits of owning real estate is just so immense that you can't pass up on it. Overall, I'm extremely bullish on this real estate market here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and all the surrounding areas for that matter. And I also think there's a good margin of safety with the demand that we're seeing out there and how many people want to live here. I feel really confident with that, and that's why I'm trying to get as much property as possible. So if you want to come on that journey with me, you want to invest with me, then reach out to me. Like I said earlier, my information will be in the description box below. Send me an email, reach out, call, text, whatever. Let's have a chat and see if there's an opportunity for us to potentially partner up. So whether you've got some capital that you want to invest, you want to partner on a property, or maybe even just want to loan me some money or whatever it may be, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you. Now, I'm only looking to invest and work with a couple of very specific partners. So this is something that really needs to work for you, but also needs to work for me. It needs to be a win-win, and I want to make sure we're both comfortable with it. So we can have that discussion when you reach out. And if you're also looking at buying, selling, or investing in real estate, I would love to represent you as your agent. I'm a real estate agent here in Utah, and I love talking this investment side of things. There's more videos here on the channel that you can check out if you want to see a little bit more about my approach to real estate investing. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.